Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have more fun, especially have more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman, founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build amazing teams. So I have as my guest today, Paul Cardis, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, got it right. Yep.
Oh, hallelujah. That's the hardest part. And then he's with On3. Now, have to explain to the audience here, what is On3? And how'd you get here?
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. Great to be here. So On3 is essentially a digital platform for capturing all of the things we want our folks to do out there in the field in video, capture them and digitize them so that they're available for everybody to view on their mobile devices. So imagine having a scope of work that's video based. There's no guessing. You can see what you need to do, see what our trades need to do, and you can communicate it in multiple languages in that video. That's what On3 will do for you. Plus, we have testing and verification so that we can ensure that everybody has what we call competency on the site. If you have high level of competency, your managers and your trades are all competent and highly skilled, guess what, folks? You're going to build a better house. You're going to have less problems, less warranty issues. And we like to say this is saving companies not 6 figures, but 7 figures over time.
Well, now, in the past, some of the guys that use training on other kinds of things, but not really video based. So give me a specific example of how a lot of my guys are remodeling contractors or small builders. I don't like these big production guys. So what's an example of how somebody could use your app to make their business better?
Absolutely. So if you're a modeler, small custom builder, you have to deal with trades. You've got 20, 30, 40 trades per home site that you're working on, and you're not sure who's showing up. Now, hopefully you have a tight enough crew that you know who shows up on your job sites, but in the end of the day, there's always that new person who shows up. You didn't hire them. It was your trade partner who hired them, but are they well trained? That's the real question. And the answer is probably not. And so you then as manager and your people need to be armed with your digital scopes of work, your On3, that you could put up on your phone and show it to them right there in the field and educate them on, this is how I want things done. This is the expectation.
Was that like how to put in a window, how to frame a door, how to put in, give me some specifics to make it more specific.
Absolutely. It's really everything from scratching the dirt to dealing with the customer. I mean, we cover everything in between, from foundations, insulation, framing, electrical, plumbing, siding, roofing. It's all of it, really. And
well, who's going to take all these videos?
That's the beautiful thing, is that you're able to borrow from our library. We've already built up thousands of these scopes that you can evaluate, vet, and if you feel that they're appropriate, then drop them into your On3. And then where we don't have everything, because we don't know everything, and I challenge any company who says they do, run away, because they don't. There's over 7 million building products across over 3,000 counties with different code jurisdictions. It's literally impossible to have everything that you need to know in the home building industry. So we created On3 Create, which allows you to record your own digital scopes of work very quickly, very easily. You know your business the best. You and your best trades, you know how you want it done and the processes that you need to adhere to. Capture that in video. Use your cell phone now to document that. It doesn't have to win an Academy Award. It's just got to be accurate and clear. And then our system converts those into actual scopes and builds them into verifiable learning programs that now you can use with new employees, trade contractors, and the like.
Okay, so only we use Trainable sometimes, so it's sort of like that, but it's better. So question is, does it, the person, let's take I don't know, a remodeling contractor. From the very first phone call, does it only deal with construction, or deal with how you should talk to the customer when you talk to them on the phone?
We do have a ton of construction stuff. That's our cornerstone, but we have now moving into, how do you inspect a house? How do you do a home orientation or a walkthrough when your project or home is done? How do you manage when you have a difficult customer who, in the customer service scenario, wants this and wants that? We're now covering all those topics, and we're bringing in some of the best experts to create and share their knowledge with us and our clients. So yeah, we are expanding. And in fact, so now
even
training.
How to answer the phone, like you got it, because there's a lot of sales stuff out there, right?
Right.
So call, do you have any like, okay, I'm a home improvement contractor. How should I have my person answer the phone when they're talking to a potential client? Do you go that far?
We do have a phone etiquette
See what,
module or two. We do. Again, I'm not sure if it'll work for every company, but yes, we do. We do have a generic phone etiquette. How to run meetings. We have a whole bunch of stuff. It's just amazing once we've accumulated now over the years all this great content on how to run a business and how to operate as a home builder, remodeler, custom builder.
give me a little of your backstory and how did Home3 get started?
Yeah, so this is my 31st year in the home building industry. I started out in another technology company that I founded, and we did customer surveys and customer ratings. I sold that in 2018, and then we got busy and didn't sit on my hands long, and we got busy building On3. We saw a real opportunity to come in and fill this void. I like to say home builders and remodelers today, we play a lot of street ball. We get out there and we just kind of we wing a lot of stuff. It's just the way it is, as opposed to having an organized playbook on every detail, on every process. And so those are the two ends of it. And we see On3 as a way to really bridge those worlds and get that to go to the next level. And so you go from playing street ball to really being a refined, well-oiled machine that has huge ROI. And that was, I think, the most eye-opening thing now is the return on investment. When you do make this conversion from doing it to hoping they understand to actually showing them and having well-documented video-based scopes, the savings that returns is enormous. And so we knew we were onto something, and now we've been doing it for now 4 years.
So how did you come up with the name On3?
That's a good question, and we always get asked that. Not to confuse us with On3 Sports, by the way. We actually formed the company before On3 Sports, so I'll just want to let the viewers know that we do own the trademark, and we have it both for learning as well as in AI. So On3 for AI is also owned by us. But On3 Sports came after, and they doing a great job on their sports stuff. I read their things, it's great. But On3 was also an analogy on the sports in that team on three. If you ever heard that saying, if you have a kid that plays sports or played sports yourself, that's often a thing you do before you run out on the field with your teammates. And we are big on building great teams and having a well-organized team.
So before you go, if you go 1, 2, 3 On3, how does that work?
Yeah, it's okay, On3, team On3, and boom, they go 1, 2, and then they go team, and then off they go, and it gets everybody all aligned and excited about winning the game, right? So we just love that little analogy, and we were able to pick up our URL and do what we're doing. So yeah, that's how we got started, and On3 is growing. It's not just a name anymore; it's actually becoming an it. So we launched recently our AI bot, also named On3. And On3 is also going to be supporting your team members out there in the field. So if they have questions, well, what's the distance between the anchor bolts and Humboldt County? On3 is going to know the answer and be able to tell them. And it's going to become
It's sort
very
of like the
knowledgeable.
construction-oriented ChatGPT, right?
Right, exactly, right. Your construction Siri or construction ChatGPT, exactly, is what we're doing.
Cool. So I guess the question would be, give me some real life examples of contractors you work with. You say it's a high ROI. Give me some specific, you don't have to give me the contract, obviously, but John Doe contractor did this with this application, and this is how it saved him money. I'd like to hear a specific example if you can.
Absolutely, yeah. We're working with a builder right now in Wilmington. Their division there was really floundering. It was one of the worst in the company. They're really struggling with every metric from build time to warranty service, and they brought in some new people and they implemented On3, and today they're leading the company. They've completely turned that whole situation around. And has everybody on the bus stayed? No, they've had turnover and change, but
how does that
they're bringing in
specifically? I mean, what are they going out and saying? This is how you frame a door. This is how you lay out a foundation. I mean, what specifics does it do?
It does all of that. So basically, we're taking the whole scope of workbook and we're going through it from A to Z, making sure that we are now having full video-based scopes of work and enabling that through the app, making sure that we have verifiable checkpoints as well, so that everybody checks in to confirm that they have the knowledge needed and they're competent across all those scopes of work. And when you go through that exercise and you put that in play, you change the company dramatically.
Sort of sounds like YouTube with test.
It is YouTube with tests and a little bit more. It's also quick. It's also quick access. Yeah.
When you want to learn something, I can't. Anytime, like, how do I fix my drain, or how does you go to YouTube and try to figure it out, right?
Exactly.
This is sort of like YouTube, but a specific. This is how you drive an anchor bolt. This is how you frame a door. This is how you mount and hinge. It's that specific, right?
It is, but it's also specific to that builder in that location. So the builder controls it and says, when I'm in this community, in this county, this is how I need to have it done. And these are the things I need to watch out for. And they can literally build that knowledge set very quickly, very inexpensively, so that when their teams are in that county, they're accessing their On3, they're getting the right stuff. And we're making sure that they're prepared for what the job is ahead of them.
Well, I would say your timing's perfect, because when you think about it, anytime you want to learn anything today, where's the first place you go? YouTube, right?
YouTube. Yeah, Google, right.
So to me, this is good timing, because people already have their mindset. If I don't know how to fix my drain, don't know how to fix something in my car, anytime I'm going to learn something, I generally go to YouTube and Google, and they tell me, right?
Yeah, the problem there is you need internet, and one of the things we built with On3 is we don't need internet. We work offline, so as long as you've installed the app in advance, you've installed your library in advance, you have access no matter where you are. Good internet, no internet, in a cave, on a mountain, you have access.
So how much memory is that going to take in a phone?
Not much at all, actually. It'll take about 1 gig to 1.5 gigs of space for hundreds of video-based scopes of work with our platform. We compress all of it so that it's not going to crush your phone. Yeah.
So if I'm, let's say I'm a remodeler and I say, I want my guy, I hired a new guy, his English isn't great, his Spanish is better, I want him to know how to install a Pella window.
We can do it.
I can go install a Pella window, and it shows me how to do it. Because I've done that on ChatGPT, which is pretty good, but it doesn't have the video component, and it isn't specific to the builder.
That's correct. Or the location and the zone they're in, and all the other issues that truly need to be accounted for in order for it to be done right.
So it sounds like a merger of Train Your Old, ChatGPT, and YouTube all in one, right?
Yeah, kind of is, right.
Cool. So is this for every builder? Like, if you have an HVAC company, or you have a roofing company, or you have a home service company, is it just as applicable?
It is, yeah. And we have a number of large trade contractors that are utilizing us: framers, plumbers, electricians. Yeah, the list goes on and on. And in fact, we even now have manufacturers using On3 in their factories. And we're even talking to one major car manufacturer right now about possibly deploying it there.
Okay, so all you need is a cell phone and a brain, right?
Yes, correct. And support by your organization, your company. They have to want this. Sometimes we get calls from individuals say, hey, I want this. And we can handle putting them in a generic university, but this works when the whole company makes the commitment and they're all working in concert to capture what they need, have us build it out, and then be able to have a platform to easily communicate and deploy. It is that true ecosystem that's making the big difference for our clients.
So what does it cost? And let's say, I can understand any production builder is no brainer because they're doing 50 million.
Right.
But what about John Doe that does 5 houses a year, or Mary Smith that's a remodeler that does 20 remodels or 30 remodels? Is it just as applicable?
It is, and our pricing is as well. So we start at $395 a month, and that includes pretty much everything. And that allows for our small clients to really get active, use this, be able to build their own scopes, and start changing their companies. They probably spend more on space. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's service-based versus use-based, right?
It is service-based, right? So it is a monthly fee, correct?
Okay. So it's sort of a SaaS, for lack of a better term, right?
It is, right. And then there is a small fee for when they create modules, which is a one-time investment for them. So we charge $150 to launch, take a video and turn that into a learning module $25 to create just a general scope. Again, very affordable when you think about it. You spend more time and more money on lots of other silly things, and yet this will change your company's trajectory and affect your life too, because it's improved the quality of life for many of owners who, you know, are constantly pulling the string on the back of their neck, repeating and repeating the same issues over and over and over again. Now you can have an app for that captures all this stuff. Everybody can go there and access the information, and the owner can sit back and verify that everybody does have understanding of what they need to do.
So how do you, for lack of a better, test somebody that they know? What is that process?
So we do a variety of cool testing. We have the traditional multiple choice, choose A, B, C, D. Of course, those things are there, but we actually went a step further. We have also what's called video assessment. So learners, instead of maybe taking the test, they can record a video actually explaining or demonstrating or showing. And then we also have our AI assessment, which we just released a week and a half ago at the international show. And that will be where they actually have a conversation with our trained AI bot that is trained in that specific module that the builder or modeler has
verbal
built.
Conversation or a written conversation?
It's verbal and written, so it can be right. So you can talk to your phone and have the thing go back and forth, or you can type it in like you're doing a text message.
That's cool. I know that AI is getting much better at doing verbal things. We're using that for something.
Yes.
So what about access to this amazing library? Does that cost more?
No, it's included. That $395 includes access to our library, and then whatever obviously we don't have, we help you to create through the On3 Create app. We do have a number of other partners that are also contributing more content. So we're having building product manufacturers, other building science folks. They're all joining in now, adding content. So the library is getting large, and ton of great stuff in there.
Cool. Okay, well, it sounds like a great idea. How do I get started? How do I find, who do I contact? How does this all work?
Well, you can obviously go to our website. We're at on3.ai, not com. If you go to com, you'll get the sports guys, but if you go to on3.ai, you'll get us. And but you can also send an email to myself. I'm at paul@on3.ai, or you can access our general box at info@on3.ai. And let's get a meeting on the calendar. We want to learn more about you, where you're building, what you're doing, and then we can determine if there's a good fit here and get you going.
Sounds great. Well, anybody who's had a problem getting anything done, which is pretty much every contractor listening to this podcast, I think we have a technology solution. This is the good side of AI, right? I mean, it may take over the world. I don't think so, but you can use it to train your people, talk to your people. And we've all had, you know, employees that don't do exactly what we ask them to do, or subcontractors. So this is a way of assuring that they know what they're doing and also telling them and instructing them how to do it, which is great. I think this is a killer idea.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, our philosophy is AI should be used to enhance human performance, not necessarily replace it. So that's where our app fits in.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate your time, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the opportunity.